In this lecture, we are going to make a brief overview of the topics contained in the trading psychology section of the course. At this point, it's almost a cliché to say that trading psychology is absolutely necessary for any trader to not only survive, but to succeed in the long term. However, most traders don't stop to wonder why that's the case, and if they do, they almost never go deep enough into the topic, which is immense. It's not only a deep and wide subject, but it is also quite interesting because it deals with the rather mysterious nature of the human mind and some weird aspects of it. It is also interesting to find out how the human mind became what it is today and the mechanisms that led to this transformation over thousands of years. In the trading psychology portion of the course, we are going to study two main topics, which are the prospect theory and the relevant cognitive biases that affect traders the most. The prospect theory earned a Nobel Prize in economics, and it was discovered by a psychologist who happens to be a reference in behavioral economics to this day. The prospect theory makes it easier to understand the contradictory nature of how our brain works when we expose it to decisions that involve risk. The heart of the prospect theory shows how we can display aversive or seeking behaviors to the same problem depending on how this problem is framed. This has a major impact for traders because we need to deal with this sort of thing every time a trade is made. The other part of the section about trading psychology deals with the relevant cognitive biases that tend to hinder a trader's performance if he's not aware such thing exists. Cognitive biases are primitive lenses by which we observe the world. They are second nature to us, and many of the activities that we perform on a daily basis and that we take for granted would be impossible without them. Things like learning, memory articulation and decision-making are deeply connected to the cognitive biases. The other attribute of cognitive biases is that all human beings have them without any exception. They precede personality in a way. That's how deeply embedded they are in our biology. As you will find out later in the course, the presence of the cognitive biases in modern society creates something called the intelligence paradox, which is one of those real-life ironies that spiral off of the complexity of our existence. It's quite easy to underestimate the effect of cognitive biases in our trading because they are silent to us in a way. The fact that we have a hard time seeing biases in ourselves is itself a bias called bias blind spot. Once again, that's because cognitive biases are primal intuitions deeply rooted in our biology, and they come from behind us in a way to shape the way we see the world. The study of these two aspects of our psychology help to clear up the fog that surrounds the unique behavior of human beings regarding risk associated with time, which is a major part of trading. In the next lecture, we are going to dig deeper into the prospect theory to understand its amazing conclusions about human psychology.